Welcome everybody from freezing cold, sunny Florida. Well, it's freezing for me because I'm from England and I came to Florida thinking it was going to be warm. My show is Dare to Dream and I'm really glad that you're coming today. And we're on New Streaming Network, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, radio, TV and podcasts, home of Going Solo and Going Bold. Dare to Dream is the title of my show. But the topic today is ego shuts the door. I have been to many events and readings all over Florida. I'm being English. I had to fit in with the way things were done. Because I'm from old school, the way I was taught about mediumship from my mother and my grandmother. And I've noticed a lot of people are psychics saying they're mediums. And a lot of mediums saying they're psychics, not using the title medium. And I wondered why. I've been a medium all my life and known that. But I kept myself quiet and I learnt things. I learnt how to respond with other people, learnt to listen to my gut instincts, my psychic abilities. But I've always managed to get my energy up. I make people laugh. I care for people. It's not about what am I going to get from you. It's what I can give you that makes you happy, which makes me happy. Ego is one of the biggest killers of mediumship I know personally. When I've got to think what I'm going to say, like when I do a service in a church, I used to write down my lecture and get it, work it out, spend hours doing it. Get on the podium in front of all the people in the church. Says, hello, everybody. Look down at it. Throw it away. Because if I've got to think what I'm going to say as a medium, channeling spirit, it didn't make sense. Spirit gives me the information. And yes, I am responsible for what I say and do as a human being and a medium. I'm responsible. The whole point of mediumship is being a conduit, not for self, but for spirit. When you see people in these events, not just necessarily the one I frequent, but in any event, you go around and you see all these vendors and readers, tarot, psychics, you name it, you see all varieties. And each one's got their own pricing, for example. And there's me set at one place. I was just saying to Cece just before we started, I've had only 3 changes of my pricing in 23 years in America. And it took me a heck of a long time to change from the low price to the middle to what is now. It's not very expensive at all. I felt guilty in a way for charging, but I have to pay my dues for being at the event, the cost of travel, food, etc., and the equipment I need. And my equipment lasts for a very long time, but every now and again I have to change it because things get old and worn and tattered. It's not wasting the equipment, but the ego part of me is still there. I haven't totally ignored it. But when I'm working with spirit, I don't want to know as Graham what I'm going to say. It's like these shows I do. I normally spend a couple of days before the show is airing, and I tell CC whatever spirit's led me to say the title of the show is. But when I left Gainesville after a really beautiful weekend doing an event, I knew what the title was going to be. Ego shuts the door. Think about this. When you go out and you feel comfortable in a place or with people or whatever you're doing, you just feel comfortable, that's the psychic side. And it's automatic. I'm going to do this. I feel comfortable. I complete it. There's no ego in it. When you're working as a medium to work with spirit, and if I've got to use this part before I use my heart to speak, I have a problem. Now, my metabolic rate causes me to eat a lot, frequently, but I don't gain weight. Everybody says, oh, I wish I had your appetite. No, your metabolic rate. No, my metabolic rate could be dangerous when I was younger because I didn't understand what it was doing to the body. My body has no reserves, no fat layer. That when you eat food, it produces fat, and it sustains you a little bit longer, for a couple of hours longer. Mine was an hour and a half to 2 hours. I had to eat something after 2 hours. If I didn't, my hands were like this. And people say, oh, you're diabetic. I went to a hospital in Nottingham for 11 years in England for studies and tests to find out what my body was doing. I had a strict diet under a dietitian of the hospital. And in the end, I was losing weight under his diet because he was trying to help me gain weight because I was underweight. Like I was 110 pounds. I was very thin. I'm 162 now. I'm not bragging about that. It's just a simple fact. I've only gained 50 pounds in 23 years. But if I don't eat every couple of hours when I was working, my body started to shut down. And I just got on with it. I told my managers, my bosses, every place I ever worked, if you see me starting to shake, put food down my mouth. Not nuts, but anything else. Just eat anything. And they say, are you embarrassed by that? I said, no, it's called life or death. I could go into a coma because my body shuts down because it's not having enough nutrients. They say, oh, you're just weird. Yeah, I love the title being weird because I know from my history in my family about being a medium, my mom and my grandmother. They knew my metabolic rate was high when I was a child, obviously. I lived with my grandparents from the age of 1.5 to 9, I think it was. I knew my grandparents very well. They fed me really well, but it wasn't enough. So what's that got to do with ego? What's that got to do with mediumship? Well, if you're not healthy, you start to think and feel things. It distracts you from calmness of the mind. Meditation, we call it. I just call it quieting of the mind. I just switch off and say, Spirit, you've got the ball. Graham steps back, Spirit works through me. Being a medium is easy for me because I, as Graham, when I'm consciously thinking, step back and I trust my guides. I have never yet had an issue with my abilities, but I had a client over the weekend in Gainesville, and she reminded me of something. Since 3.5 years of age of knowing I was different to last weekend, 70 years ago, 66.5 years, as my fourth recipient, I had to stop the reading for. No. All you want is specifics from Spirit to tell you A, B, C, D, or whatever it was. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. Not for me. She said, well, I could go to another medium. I said, please do. I'm not here to answer A, B, C, D. And I went and told the organizer, the event organizer, what had happened. He says, is this the one here? And this woman comes storming up to the organizer. He said, hey, you can't read me. He said, well, if you're not happy, go to another one or leave. Very politely. This one said, well, I want to know what. Think about it. If you want to know something, only from your perspective. Before you even see a medium or a psychic, what's the point of going to them? You already know what you want to get back. You know a specific answer. That's the only one you want is driven by ego. And sorry, my job is not here to answer every little. I'm not omnipotent. I'm a human being. I'm a spirit having a human experience. I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. I work with spirit. I don't work from ego. I've mentioned this a few times, but the title of my show is because of my mother's dream catcher, that one there above my thumb. I dared to dream. I think my mum was just condensed it to dare to dream because it's easier to get on the sample that she hand stitched for me. Because she knows I dared, and I'm not living a dream. I'm living the dream that people can't even imagine. And the reason why I use the word dream is because it's not just of the material world. It's that up here from my heart, working together. If I feel comfortable in my heart, I can speak. If I have to think about it and pull, I'll back on. I'm not ego-driven. How many people do you know that are not ego-driven? I'm happy when I help reconnect people to past loved ones because I'm an evidential, intuitive medium. I'm third generation. I'm international because I've been all over the Mediterranean when I was in the forces. I'm from England. I now live in America. And I'm not, no, I can't be doing that. Life is simple when you trust your heart and your guts and your instinct. When you've got to think about it and rationalize it in A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, whatever, you've already blocked the possibilities. We're all intuitive to a degree. Now, changing the subject slightly, I wrote something a while ago, and I've got a friend editing a book. And she's a professional book editor and also a medium. I've known her over about 20 years now. And when I told her I wanted to write a book, she says, I'll do it for free for you. This is the start of COVID. She says, I'll do it for free because what we share, I want to give you something back. I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. Well, I finally got the almost completely edited book back last week. I'm now doing the final draft of it. And the funny thing is, she said, Graham, I've been doing this for a very long time, nearly 50 years. She says, I do international editing. And I thought I'd seen it all. But she says, there's something I've got to tell you. It's a good job I know how you think and how you speak. Because you are the world's worst writer I've ever met. And I just roared with laughing. I said, look, you don't have to do this book if it's that bad. She said, no, I keep my promise. So it's taken her nearly 5 years, but I'm proud of my friend's etiquette. I'm proud of the fact that she kept a promise for me. And she says, you're prepared to wait until whenever before I finish it? I said, yeah. I said, I don't know anything about that. She said, you know about that? I said, no, I trust you. It's not about ego. Oh, you've got to do this because I want. No, it's not. You see, we all have choice in our lives. God created us with this ability. But whether you use it from your heart or your head, that's your choice. And it's difficult for a lot of people to think. It was difficult for me for many years. I'm the same as you. I've gone through it all. Each to their own difficulties. Because as I said, we're all spirit having a human experience. And I know I chose this body to come into at birth to experience this life. I knew I have deja vu, which says I could see things happening that I thought I'd already done. But I want to rationalize that to this. As a spirit looking down before I came here, I wanted to experience A, B, C, D. Yeah, I'm using that term because I was going to come into a human form. So I did. I wanted to experience all these things that have happened to me. And deja vu happens quite a lot for me. Damn, I've seen that. I've done that before. And I know I haven't physically, but I have in spirit. So I know I'm following my path truly, because this is why I came here. And it's not about, I've got to achieve everything. No, I want to show you that I love living life the best I can with what we have. My wife, my daughters, my son, my animals, my home, everything. I'm the same as anybody else. I'm not anything special. And I don't want the door in my life to appear. Because to me, a door is a barrier to my self-enlightenment. I don't know if any of you have understood about this quest to self-enlightenment means finding out why you're here on this earth. Well, one of my tasks for being here is to be a teacher, which is why I do my show, Dare to Dream, to pass on information that Spirit wants you to listen and learn from, even if it's just one word, even if it makes you smile once from your heart or laugh from your heart. I am not a professional anything other than I'm a human being. My spirit refuses to sit down and be bossed, controlled by other people. We have regulations on this earth. Yeah. We have to be paying our bills and all the rest of it. Yeah, I understand that. But your opinion of me is not important to me. My giving the best I am for you is what drives me. If you want it, if you want to listen to it, if you want to watch the show, if you want to like, share, and comment on the show and subscribe to New Streaming Network, that'll be fantastic. Because this is what the shows are about. All that CC has created by allowing all these other show hosts to do their own thing to enlighten people. And it's not driven by ego. I know there's a couple of people in here that are armed forces and a couple of people that have had bereavement and heartache and abuse and all the rest of it. I've been through some of that. I know this might sound as I'm being flippant, but I'm a living coward and I'm here to prove it. Because I've been shot at, held up at gunpoint, been in 3 car accidents, held a bomb that should have gone off, and my best friend took my warship and never came back. I survived for a reason. And I want to honor every single one that helped me be here today. That's not ego. That's my heart. You all have a choice. And yes, some of them are really, really difficult. I remember one day that I was dating a lady when I was a lot younger, and she wanted to change me. She wanted me to have a beard, and she wanted me to colour my hair and do certain things. And I realised she was trying to mould me into a person that she had lost a couple of years ago in that period of time. And I said, as much as I love you, I cannot stay, because you want me to be somebody who is no longer of this earth. I'm me. He was him. He's passed. I'm not replacing anybody. I'm standing here as Graham. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go. I love you, but I can't stay. You see, it's not about how big I am or how strong I am or how much money I have or not, whatever. It's about being honest within yourself. Think about it. You have choices. I keep on saying, you have choices to do the best for you. Are you happy with all the words you share or the situations you're in? If you're not, that's your choice. Life's about living life to the best of your ability to make you happy. And when you're happy and relaxed and at peace, those around you can see that and they can join that energy. The people that came to the fair this weekend just gone, they're saying, you and your wife are always smiling and having a laugh and all this. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm just enjoying the energy. My wife was talking to people. I was talking to people. We're having a blast. But the people were so serious. Yeah, we're there to earn money, but not at the expense of belittling ourselves and damaging our egos. No, it's not going to happen with me. My wife calls me the comedic medium because I'm always making people laugh. And my sense of humor is this. God has a fantastic sense of humor. He created this, me. And for 70 years, I've enjoyed being who I am. I never thought I'd live past 31 because of the life I was living. I'm a recovered alcoholic and all the rest of it. But I'm healthier now than I've ever been. I'm not perfect, but I'm healthier. I'm at peace with who I am, what I can give. I don't get angry easy. Why waste the energy? Ego shuts the door to your true life, your true purpose. Do you want to always be in charge of everything and everyone? Why? Have millions and millions and millions of dollars or pounds or whatever. You can't take money with you. The only thing you take with you when you transcend or die or pass, whatever you want to call it, is memories. Your heart. Think about it. I've experienced a lot of jobs, people, situations, life. Some bad, some good. But out of it, I'm saying thank you. Thank you for helping me find me. Thank you, Cece, for helping me do my shows. It takes a special type of person to actually look at you and say, thanks. Cece and I have had a laugh for a couple of years now. We always joke about things that are nonsense, but it lifts the energy up. Think about it. When you're miserable and somebody comes in and genuinely, with their heart, try to make you laugh, most times your ego steps down and you join in. Sometimes it won't allow you to. But the times you let it go, you open the door and step through. Your temper's gone, your ego's gone, and you're generally having fun. And you feel lighter. Laughter is one of the best medicines known to man. And I'm saying humankind, not male, female, mankind. The picture behind me of Tower Bridge, the picture of the eagle my daughter drew, the sunset my wife did, all those things behind me, they make me smile from my heart. I could be a critic. In fact, one of my friends says, you're pitch perfect on music, aren't you? I said, yeah, I can't play an instrument. But you play a piece of music and tell me that was perfect and play it again, I can pick every wrong note. I don't know how I do it. I really don't. It's a gift and a curse at the same time. I've adjudicated bands on stage, and these are, I'm famous and all this sort of stuff, and they're drunk or not performing well, and I've had to throw them off the stage officially and stand there intermediate making jokes with people while we got another band in and all the rest of it. The ego on some of the bands I met Well, if you watch any of the pop artists of that are around now and back then, some are good, some are bad. But the ones I really enjoy meeting are the ones that said, I can't do this because my equipment's not working, or I've got a sore throat, or I've had a little bit too much to drink. Can I come back another time? I've got respect for people like that. The ego stepped down and said, no, I'm not going to do it. They felt guilty that they put themselves in that position in the first place. You see, ego is good to a point. But think about how far that point's going to reach into your heart. It's like a spear. I don't want an ego that controls my heart. I want an ego that protects me. I want an ego that helps me help other people. And the knowledge I've got within me, I want to share with you. Not for any other gain than to make you happier and smile within. I've got a friend who's just starting relatively late in life to be a medium. Very gifted. But so scared of doing everything wrong. I said, when you switch off to being scared, it flows. You would not be here if you didn't have a gift. You would not be here if Spirit didn't need you here. You have to step back and let your inner self, your heart, step forward. Because ego really was stressing him out. And he's trying to listen to people that were really, I've got to say, beginners on their journey of working with spirit and psychic. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not. It's just I've learned how to help people and make them smile and have fun. And I've got always a big box of tissues on my table for the recipient. I nearly go through a box of tissues over a weekend. Because half the people that come to sit down at my table for a reading have lost somebody dear to them. And I prove that their lost one, past loved ones are still with them. Even cracking jokes about the shoes, changing the shoes or the clothing. In fact, one of them, she sat down and I started doing this with my hands. I said, I can't, something's broken. It's like a clasp and it won't do this. It's like, her face, what? I said, the clasp from your mother, it's broken. And not a word of a lie, hand on heart. She went into a pocket, came out with a plastic bag, and there was a necklace with a clasp that was broken off. Or a bracelet, sorry, not a necklace, that was broken. And it had broken recently. And I said to her mum, herself, I'm going to see if you can come through, mum. But the fact I went about the broken clasp, to me it was like joining together. Not like this. I can't do it that way. You know what I mean. But it was just like a clasp. I didn't believe spirit actually existed. I said, well, welcome to a medium. She says, you make it so much fun. Aren't you embarrassed? No. Why should I be? It's not me, it's your mother. She showed me about the class, so why should I be? Didn't understand it. She went away crying her heart out with tears of relief and release and understanding that her mother is still with her. That's my job as a medium, to uplift. So you see, ego doesn't play that much of an important role in me. I've got a persona. I have a way of doing things. I talk with my hands. If I can't use my hands, I can't talk. Because when I'm doing reading, I always hold the person's right hand with my left. Because I like that energy to flow down my arm to theirs or from them to me. And I use this hand to talk or grab the box of tissues. Seriously. Because it's easy holding both hands. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. No, I just hold the one hand so I can talk. And people say, why are you like that? Aren't you bothered? No, why should I be? It's not about ego. I don't want that door even existing. Because if you put a barrier or a door or blockade, whatever you want to call it, you're stopping yourself advancing. You're stopping yourself from being free within yourself, to follow your heart's desire, dare to dream. This is what life's about. You've got a very limited time, from 0 to 100 or whatever. You can't guarantee when you're going to pass to the other side. And I'm not being morbid. We all have to go through this on this earth at the moment. They haven't got eternal life, not yet, on this earth. So I want you to think about it. Does your ego block you from living the best of your life? If it does, if you have a problem, now, Cece's going to be surprised now. I would like you to contact me. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this. It'll come up on the screen. Look, it's brilliant. Now, there are 2 emails there. One's a spiritual one, a medium77@gmail.com. The other is my everyday one. It's the Brit77. That's THEBRITT77@hotmail.com. Send me an email and I'll do the best I can to help you. Or you can phone me. I'm Florida, USA, 352-409-1060. And as it says in brackets, leave a message. Because if you don't, I won't answer it. Now, I'm on Facebook. Look my Facebook, Graham Williamson, or a Medium 77, or Medium Graham Williamson. And send me a line. I'm here. I'll do the best I can, or get you in contact with somebody that I know can help you. I do a lot of people with PTSD because I suffer from PTSD because of my friend being shot next to me. And I'm not being morbid about it. I understand being an alcoholic, being married more than once, being in relationships that didn't work. You know, all these things happen. But I'm here every other Wednesday, bi-weekly, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And the next one's going to be on the 29th, I believe. Yeah, 29th. I don't know what it's going to be called as yet. But I want to thank you for listening. And I hope you'll come back and make a comment, or contact me, or contact Cece. If you want to start your own show, contact Cece. I'm sure she'll love having you. But I'm going to close in a minute. But I want to thank Spirit, Cece, and you for being here today. And Happy New Year to everybody. Because the last show was recorded because of the New Year period. I'm your host of Dare to Dream, Graham Williamson, International Intuitive, Evidential Medium, and Psychic. And I want to say, have a great evening. Good night from me. And I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. Goodbye.